Hey YouTube. Okay, so this is like a really impromptu video, but one of my followers on Instagram, which if you don't follow me, I'm Kingcocochanel. Um, they were talking about waist trainers and just different things, which I'm all for waist trainers. Never used one, but I'm very waist cinchers, waist trainers. I think when I say all for, I mean if like that's what you, if it's working for you, by all means, I'm all for it. Do it, get it done. Um, I've never used one, so I guess I'm repeating myself in that bag. But somebody was asking like tips and tricks because to have a small waist and big butt, because like I've seen a lot of people that have big butts and bigger waists, and that if that's not the look you're going for, that's not exactly what you want. And so that can sometimes be kind of disheartening to have to have a big butt and have a big waist. And the smaller your waist is, the more you can have that illusion of the hourglass figure shape thing, and that's it's kind of a alluring shape, I guess. I'm not here to body shame anybody. For everybody's body is different, and health and fitness can come in all shapes and sizes. And as long as you're healthy and fit, then everything else is great, in my opinion. But I guess I would do a video and tell you all the tips and tricks that I personally did to get a big butt and a small waist. So first, I'll show you what it actually looks like. So, small waist. I have huge thighs, so you gotta go. But I'm sporting a lot. But I did it with no like injections or whatever else. Everything I have is natural. Naturally worked for it, naturally earned it, naturally have it now, like all that good stuff. Um, what I did was I did a lot of slow burn cardio, or either that or I did fast short cardio. But I know I'll explain this. For a while, I did insanity, did different things, and I was seeing some results, but not really the results I wanted. I was never fat, but I'll show you. I'll put pictures in there where I wasn't fat, but I wasn't quite the shape I wanted to, and I wanted this like waist kind of thing. But when I did get that, I didn't have abs. Like I had like my waist had the parentheses, as I call it. I'm not sure what it's really called, but it didn't have like definition and tone, which I wanted. So what I did was, after I finished my insanity, like the whole insanity video, I did the whole thing. I was like, let me reevaluate what I really need to do to figure out what it is that I want. I want it to get what I really want. So here are my tips. I would get on the treadmill, and I would get on it and crank it up and run, but I would never even do more than a half a mile run. Like I would do like a half mile as fast as I could, and then so I'm aiming for like 3 minutes for a half a mile, because that puts me at a really good pace, like 2:30, 3 minutes, great time for half a mile. And well, for me, I'm a sprinter by nature, obviously, so that's a good time. I mean, if you can beat it, by all means, go ahead. But and then I would walk the other half a mile. Oh, my warm up's always at least a mile, but I would walk the other half a mile, and I would try to walk at a brisk pace, but I would turn the elevation on the treadmill up to as high as I could really do it. And I don't hold the sides. I make sure my hands are at my side. For me, what that does, in my opinion, it makes my legs, and when I say my opinion, it's kind of trial and error. I've done it, so I know it works. It makes your legs work a lot harder. I feel it, my butt feels like it's on fire trying to keep myself at the high elevation and walk fast, everything. And that, for that other half a mile, is like torture. Then what I would do is I would get on the leg press, and I would do leg presses with a wide stance, so it would kind of like target my butt. Like I would do a really wide leg press, and slow and in control. And then I would try to crank out like 10 of those, with like 2 plates on each side, which my lowest was 2 plates on each side. And then, unless I'm doing for like to build, which I'll come back to. So when I do 10, I do 2 plates on each side, and then I'll do with 1 foot, and I just, kind of turn my body. So let me see if I can explain. I'll turn my body this way and press like this. And when I do that, it works it a lot harder. Like you feel it. And when I first started this, I couldn't do it with 2 plates because I just wasn't I can do I could do 6 plates, and I've done 5 or 6 plates on the leg press. But one leg I could not do more than 2 plates. I couldn't even do 2 plates. So it took me a minute to really get the idea and the hang of it and really work up to being able to do 2 plates with one leg. And once I got that, I would alternate, right leg, left leg, right, left leg. And then once I went through my right leg, my left leg, then I would start again and do both my legs with the wide stance again, targeting my butt. And then after that, I would try to do, I would try to go up maybe 10 pounds, 25 pounds on each side, and then do the same thing, maybe 10, 15. Then once I've done like 3 or 4 sets, because I try to get a good amount of sets on there. Then I'll go to failure, but instead of going to failure with 2 plates, I'm like, it's not gonna get it. I want to really build that muscle. I'll do probably 1 plate with maybe a 25 on there on each side, and I'll try to hammer out at least 20 to 30. When I say 20 to 30, I mean 20 to 30 wide leg, both legs, then my right and then my left. And I just try to hammer out as many as I can. Then by the end of that, my legs are on fire. And I try to get that done, and then I'll do like a lot of different push-ups, which sounds really stupid, but I use like plank, and I use high-low push-ups, and I use pulse push-ups, and they all like target your core so hard where I feel like my core is doing more than my arms are, which I think you have to have a decent amount of arm strength, but my core feels like just doing the majority of the work at that point. Clearly, my core is where the money's at, because my arm is not killing the game right now. But I do that, and then I do like the plie squats, but I take a free weight and I put it on my back for like a bar, and I put it on my back, and I'll get like a 50 or a 60, and I'll do like plie squats where you get on the balls of your feet and you do squats. Then I'll do lunges like that, and I'll do pulse lunges where you go down, and then I hate to explain stuff without showing you. I'll do pulse lunges where you go down and you pulse, and I do that with a 50 or 60 pound on my back, which feels like somebody's sitting on my back. But when I get up, my butt is on fire, which I'm super excited about. Sorry, my nose is being stupid, but I love that. I love it, because the more I do that, the more I know I'm really like targeting my butt. Of course I do squats, because I'm a powerlifter. You gotta do some squats, but those aren't really how I build it up. I mean, I do squats, and I do high volume squats, high weight and high reps and all that, but the things that really, really toned my butt and added mass to it, which is if you're trying to add mass, this is the easiest way for me. Like, and adding muscle to me, I know people can talk about fat or whatever, adding muscle to me is the best way to get like a really nice shape for your butt, because adding fat's not going to look the way, you can't make fat look a certain way. Whereas muscle, you can create your muscles and make them look the way you want them to look. You can shape them, you can build them, you can all these kind of things. You're not shaping or building fat, which makes it a lot harder. I've seen a ton of women who are just so blessed that it just goes in all the right spots, and they just have luck and fortune like that. And shout out to them. If you can do it, by all means, baby, make it happen. Because I'm in no place. Now, it's not that my fat ever went in a bad place, but I wanted it to look like a bubble or a ball. I didn't want it to look like a punching bag, kind of that like weird shape. I didn't like that for me. On me, plus I'm short. I'm only 5 foot 2/3 inch, so I kind of wanted a nice little. I want that Nicki Minaj, like maybe 90s J-Lo. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I got it. For abs, I just went really, really hard on my abs, and what I did was I really targeted my obliques. So I did a lot of side crunches, a lot of like side planks, a lot of oblique work. Like, the harder you hit your obliques, the more you're going to create that in shape. And I went after it. Now, any of these things you do with a waist trainer, from what I've heard, not what I know, I guess that you would probably have an even more dramatic result than I do, and have an even smaller waist, and even if you're building muscle, even bigger butt, and like, I don't know, be the latest, hottest girl. I don't know. But I don't know that one, but I know these work. So if you try it, tell me how it goes. Tell me if your butt's like out of this world now. We're killing the game. What's going on? X's and O's, hugs and kisses. Bye.